Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 14 of your practicum. We are coming down to the finish line. All right, so this week we're talking about staying abreast of scholarship of teaching and learning in your field. What aspects interest you the most, and what plans do you have for those activities? And that is definitely a real thing you need to think about because you're going through your MSM program. That's great. You're getting wonderful new ideas, things that can help you out in the educator position. But scholarship of teaching and learning, that changes, all the time. And hopefully you'll be educators for a long time and will want to keep up on different aspects. So for me, in order to maintain my certified nurse educator certification, I need to receive 50 CEUs every 5 years. So, an average of 10 a year. And I have to kind of spread them across the years, and they have to address at least 5 out of the 8 NLN nurse educator competencies that we've been studying in this course. So it's quite a variety of academic teaching and learning topics that I need to get a handle on and continue to learn about. And besides helping me in my own teaching, it helps me to stay a little bit up to date on things that I want to share with my MSN ED students like you. So it is very helpful and very valuable to me. So for that educational component, personally, I read journals. I do CEs, especially on the nursetim.com website. GCU is wonderful in that they provide all of their faculty members with an annual subscription, and that annual subscription allows you to do as many CEs as you want to on that website. And then I try to attend the National League of Nursing Education Summit about every 2 to 3 years. That is chock full of the latest research about nursing education, and it's incredibly beneficial. So I really like to do that. But then scholarship of teaching and learning, part of that is maintaining a clinical knowledge base, right? Because it's not a big piece is being able to teach, but you have to know what you're teaching, right? And that's really hard for me because I cover such a broad area. Now, I do maintain clinical practice in that I work with, my patients are age 3 to 22, and so I do maintain a lot of pediatric competency. But in addition to that, I do read journals. I subscribe to journals. I subscribe to news feeds to keep me up to date that way. And then I also attend usually local conferences to keep up my clinical knowledge base. It is time consuming. It is something that is a challenge to either clinical educators that don't do clinical shifts or academic faculty that don't do clinical shifts. It is, I think, one of the biggest challenges in teaching is keeping up to date and current. So, all right, so that's how I do. I'm very interested in seeing what you do as far as what aspects do you think are going to be important for you to stay up to date on, and how you plan on addressing that. We've talked about this a little before, but now we're getting into some specific plans. Okay? All right. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say this week. Thanks for getting your portfolios in. Whenever I read the portfolios for this course, it's always really interesting to see how you view your accomplishments, how you are looking forward to positions, different things like that. So it's going to be nice for me to be able to review those. Another thing, as we are nearing the end of the course, I want to share something with you that has to do with looking at future educator positions. I'm going to be attaching a list of possible interview questions that clinical educators or faculty could potentially be asked, just to give you kind of some thoughts if you're looking at getting a position after graduation. So when you're interviewing for a clinical educator position, a lot of it depends on the corporation that you're going to be working for. But there are often a series of interviews, and often you'll have at least one group interview, if not more. And some of those might be with current educators and managers. And depending, for instance, if it's a shared governance strong organization, you might have staff nurses being involved with those interviews. For faculty positions in academia, you will often interview with different groups all in one day, like you'll schedule a whole day. And often group interviews will include current faculty members, and many schools now also have students sit in on those. And more so in the faculty positions, but occasionally in the clinical educator positions, you may very well be asked to do a teaching demonstration. And you'll want to see what your topic is, who your audience is going to be, what time frame you have. But that could very well be part of an interview process for you. So we'll be talking a little about that. I also want to touch base on NEPD forms. So you'll be submitting one again this week. And if you have finished your hours, then I have put information in the NEPD form about what you're supposed to write about for your next NEPD submission. Okay? So make sure you look at the feedback that I just gave back to you a few days ago. But in week 16, you'll be submitting your last NEPD, and you'll also be submitting the very end of the form, which is reviewing your attainment of your overall practicum goals. So what does that mean? First of all, you really need to go back and look at your overall practicum goals, the ones that you and I finalized. And some of you, I found, probably didn't turn in that final version that I might have asked you for in your individual forum. So if that's the case, please get in touch with me and we can figure that out. But look over your final practicum goals and see where you're at with them at this point. See if there's anything else you need to throw into your practicum before your hours are over. How close did you get? Because in week 16, I'm going to ask you to list out each practicum goal, overall practicum goal that we did back in week 2, and tell me how close you came to achieving it, okay? If you did achieve it, I want you to just briefly tell me how, and if you didn't achieve it, then I want to know why, okay? So just kind of preparing for that for week 16. Also in week 16, you're going to be uploading a Tython screenshot. So you're going to take a screenshot of those hours approved by your preceptor and uploading them. Sometimes those hours are really long and you have to do like 2 screenshots. If you don't know how to do a screenshot on your computer, Google it because you do need to upload that for your final week. Okay, everybody, it's getting fun. It's getting down to the line. So week 14, 15, 3 more weeks until the end of our course. All right, everybody, looking forward to seeing you in the main forum as usual.